to this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 3. I'm so excited. This is where things get juicy, right? Of course, the first 2 days are always good, right? But this is the meat of things. This is where I give you some practical things that are going to really propel you to the next level, right? A lot of people ask me, Kat, why do you give so much information for free? Why do you give us so much? Because there's so much more to teach you, right? I need everyone to have the basics down so that when we're ready to buy medical clinics together, everybody's got their 75K. Type in a 7 if you're with me, right? When we're ready to buy hotels together in Kenya, right? Everybody's got their 50K to put in. When we're ready to buy buildings and apartment complexes together, everybody's got their money to put in, right? And so I don't mind giving you all the things that are going to get you there, because once we're there, that's really where the journey begins. I always tell my students, right? 6 figures, and I'm not talking about just your income, because most of you here are already making 6 figures. And it's like, yeah, I thought 6 figures I was going to be rich, but I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. Sips water. Right? And so, yes, I'm not talking about 6 figures in income. I'm talking about 6 figures in savings and 6 figures available, 6 figures in liquid cash flow. Somebody write in the chat, 6 figures in liquid cash flow. That's what we're here to get you to. That's the beginning of your journey. That's really the beginning of your journey. I'm actually going to share with you a story of one of my students. She was able to basically make $95,000 in one day, leveraging her assets. And no, I'm not going to share this story with you for you to think that this is going to be, if you end up working with me, that it's going to be a get rich quick scheme, right? No, those things don't exist, right? And everybody who goes after them goes bankrupt and goes broke, okay? And I was one of them. They do not exist. There's no such thing as get rich quick. Get rich quick means lose it quick, okay? And so we want to build sustainable wealth. I'm gonna share a story with you so you can see how this is actually very feasible for you. It's actually not as hard as we're making it in our mind. So quick question in the chat. Did you guys hear the music earlier when I was playing the music? Because I do that to give you guys time to think, time to pause, and kind of like, up the vibe a little bit, because finance can be boring. I want to hear, did you hear the music? Yes, I could hear. Okay, perfect. Because I was using my podcast, my little Google Nest thing, and I was putting it here on my podcast mic, and I was putting it here, and I'm like, I hope that works, because the Zoom thing, like the Zoom cancels background noise, so when I play music, it doesn't really play. So if I figured if I try that, it would work. Okay, so it worked. So I wanted to actually say something to you before we get started, but it kind of escaped me, so I guess it'll come to me. It'll come to me when it's the right time. Okay, all right, so talk to me in the chat. Type in a 7 in the chat if you were able to start your homework. I don't care if you didn't finish it. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for what? We're looking for progress, okay? Type in a 7. Jamila, Amber, Brittany, right? These are the serious folks here. If you did not do your homework, don't worry. This is a free challenge. It's really hard to take free challenges seriously. You really have to want it to really take it serious. And that's why I do them a lot of the times, right? I do the free challenges to really see who's hungry for this, right? Because when you don't pay for anything, you don't really pay attention. That's what I wanted to tell you guys. So today, and I have an email going out at 12:15, so usually we get an influx. So I'm expecting about 20, 25 people today. Who can guess how many people registered for this webinar today, or this challenge today, right? Or this challenge for this week? Talk to me in the chat. How many people do you think registered to be here this week? How many people? Talk to me. Meanwhile, let me pull out my PowerPoint so that I'm not all over the place. Okay. All right. How many people do you think registered? Okay. Somebody said 50. Somebody said 125. Ooh. You're close, all right? Somebody said 60, 50, okay? I actually have 155 people registered for this. You guys hear that? 155 people. How many people are here in the room? How many people are here in the room? There's 14 of you. And there's an email going out. There might be some latecomers that come in by 12:30, right? Okay. There was 44 on Monday, all right? then yesterday there was a 20 something, right? I don't remember, right? And today we're at 14 people. What does that tell you? Does that tell you that Kat is boring? That could be part of it, but I'm the SHIT. I'm not boring, okay? So let's take that out, right? Why do you think on day 3, and we're not even done yet, we still got day 4 and we still got day 5. Why do you think there's only 14 people on out of 155 people? When I first started my business, I'm going to tell you a little story while you type, okay? When I first started my business, I used to take things like that personal. I used to think I was a failure. I used to think like, oh my God, 155 people signed up and only 14 are here. What am I doing wrong? Am I not good enough? Am I not a good teacher? Am I not a good leader? Imagine if I gave up. Imagine if I gave up, right? Okay. And so I had to realize that I cannot take those who don't want it with me. I'm going to repeat that. I cannot take you with me if you don't truly want it. And so those of you who are here, those of you who typed in a 7, you really want this and you're doing the work, you're putting in the effort to get that apartment complex, to get that hotel, to get that $95,000 check in the mail. Type in a 7 if you're with me, okay? All right. And sometimes, it could also be my tone too. I'm very passionate about things. I tend to yell a lot. Okay. I tend to get mad sometimes. Like, why are you not doing this? I want to see you win. Why are you not winning? What are you doing? Right. I tend to be that, but it's not even about that really. Right. It's about the work. It's about truly wanting it. You have to really want this. It's sexy to say, oh, generational wealth. That's a buzzword. Oh, I want to build generational wealth. I want to be financially free. But when it comes down to doing the work, this is what happens. We get 155 people. As soon as you click on that challenge, right? 155 people said, yes, I need help with this. 44 people show up in the first day. Then we had 28, and now we're down to, I'm expecting about 25 today. Okay, about 25. And so congratulations to all of you who are here. We're here to celebrate the small wins. Okay, we want to celebrate the small wins. The fact that you are here on a free challenge, because my business coaches, they always tell me, I don't know why you keep doing these free things, right? You're wasting your time. People do not pay. People do not pay, they don't pay attention. That's what my coaches tell me. They tell me when they don't pay attention. And it's actually proven. 155 people did not pay to be here. And guess what? They're not here. Doesn't matter to them. They have no skin in the game. They didn't sacrifice enough for it. It wasn't enough for them, right? And that's okay. That's okay. And that's why there's such a small amount at the top. It's not that people are greedy. Somebody's unmuted. Go ahead and mute yourself, please. Okay. It's not that people are greedy. It's not that people think that they're better than you. No, it's that people want it. Okay. All right. Jamila says, interesting, because Monday you said you were only expecting about 40. So you took it into account that people aren't serious. You already know. I've been doing this long enough. I love that answer. You already know, Queen. Yeah, I had 155 people, 40 of them. I was surprised when I saw 40. I was like, I wonder how much of these 40 are going to be left by day 5. Okay. I already know the deal. I went through the phase of beating myself up. And I shared that story with you because a lot of you here are entrepreneurs. Type in an 8 if you're an entrepreneur. If you are a business owner, if you own a business, or if you're do freelancing of any sorts, right? My story is meant to motivate you. It's not about you. No, it's about your mission. Your mission is much bigger than you. Keep going. Yes, you're going to have people who sign up for your things. Yes, you're going to have people who tell you, yes, they're going to buy from you and they never do, right? But you got to keep going. Now, this is not a business class, right? Although I'm thinking about doing some business entrepreneurship classes because people always ask me about them because I have a successful business, right? But, keep going, all right? Hannah said homework. Yeah, that's it. As soon as I said homework, they're like, well, Kat's gonna call on me and I don't have my homework done, so I'm just not gonna come. And also too, I am kind of spoiling everyone by putting the replays on YouTube. So a lot of people are watching the replays on YouTube. Somebody said not boring at all. Brittany says false expectations. People came in wanting quick fixes for long-term process. Ooh. Yes, I couldn't have said it better myself, right? Okay. I agree, Brittany. Okay, beautiful. All right, I beat myself up often. I'm mortgage loan officer and get paid on commission. So I often think it's me. No, it's not you, Queen, right? You just got to find the people that are serious. And when you focus on the ones that are serious, you're going to keep attracting people who are serious. You're going to keep, and it's not going to be large numbers. I'm sorry to tell you that. It's not going to be large numbers. I'm not the type of person where I want a whole bunch of people in my programs, because when there's a whole bunch of people in your programs, people get left behind. It's inevitable. How many of you have ever been in any type of group coaching program or group webinar? Type in a 3 if this is you, or maybe you haven't experienced that yet, right? A group webinar, a group something, right? And your needs are not being heard. You feel like you're invisible. You feel like, wait, what about me? Like, that doesn't apply to me. Can you help me? Right. And so I don't like those big programs, because I'm here to create impact, right? This is why my clients get such amazing results, because we're here to create impact. Okay, we got a lot to do today. So talk to me about your homework. Who can mute yourself and tell me what were some of the things you found? What were some, when you were doing your homework, what came up for you? Okay, it's Julina that's unmuted. Okay, I muted you. Okay, so who can tell me what were some of the things that came up for you? Go ahead and either type in a 1 in the chat or raise your hand and I will call on you and you will let me know, what happened, right? When you saw this, when you did your homework, like, what did you see? What came up for you? If not, I will call on someone. Okay, let's see. Type in a 1 if you want to go. Let's see. Sakina, are you able to talk? I'm going to call on Sakina or Jamila, because you ladies have been here the whole time. Okay. Anybody? Brittany? Anybody want to talk? Can you guys talk? Oh, Dominique is here. Anybody?
I could go.
Oh, there you are. Yes.
I found that last month I did not spend anything on the 5 characteristics that really moved me. And that was like very eye-opening for me, because my money is going places that are not even passionate, like I'm not passionate about.
Okay. And so what's the plan to shift that?
I really think I seriously need the mindset shift. And that's why I'm coming back, because I'm getting these mindset shifts. And then, I've been speaking to you one-on-one. So that program, I'm like, I have to do that shadow work to change my mindset.
Yes, absolutely. Right. And thank you so much for sharing that and being vulnerable. All right. Thank you so much for that. Yes. And I'm glad you shared your story here. Here's the thing, and I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people, let me unpin you. So it's just, thank you so much for sharing. A lot of people are expecting an overnight shift. All right. And here's the thing, most of us are in our 30s, 40s, and even 50s. Right. And so 30 years, 40 years, 50 years of doing things one way and expecting to shift it overnight is not fair to you. That's not fair, right? And so what would it be like to give yourself the same grace that you give to everyone else around you? You give everyone else around you a pass. Oh, it's okay. They didn't know any better. It's okay. Don't do it again. Right? You give everyone else grace. But when it comes to yourself, it's like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You need to get this right. How has that been working for you? What would it feel like to stop beating yourself up a little bit, just a little bit, right? Be patient with yourself. What does it mean to love someone? What it means to love someone is, it doesn't not mean to be patient with that person. Talk to me in the chat. Type in a 7 if that's a yes or no, right? What does it mean to love someone? Does it not mean to be patient? Does it not mean to be kind? What is that? You know, in the Bible, I'm not a Bible person at all, okay? But I know some things, right? Because society talks about it, right? Love is kind, love is patient, right? And so what would it be like to be kind to yourself? What would it be like to be patient with yourself? What would that feel like, right? And so how are you going to shift these things? First is being aware. Right? That's what this challenge is about, is to unearth all these things that are happening underneath the surface, unearth them. And they're happening in the background. You don't even know they're happening. You just think that's how things are. That's just how the way life is. That's, you know, that's just life. That's just money. I have bills, I have responsibilities. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same, right? That's just the way it is. And so when you come on these challenges and these things that I do, you unearth them, you pluck them out to be able to see, oh my God, oh, wow, okay, that's what's going on. And now, you know, when you enroll in either a program or you work with someone one-on-one, or you go down the YouTube rabbit hole, because you can always pay with two things. You can pay with your time or with your money. And only one of those is infinite. So if you have nothing but time and no money, well, then you got to pay with your time. But how long are you going to continue to pay with your time? Is that something you want to continue to do, right? All right. Or you could pay with your money. So then you invest in resources, maybe not just a program. You invest in resources. I have invested in a lot of resources. I did not come from somebody's couch to being here where I'm leading an entire group of women to multiple 6-7 figure savings by just, free little things, right? Okay. And I'm not trying to shame anybody on anything, right? I invested in the resources to get me to where I am. So the next step is to invest in yourself. What does that look like? It could look like so many different things. It could look like putting the time aside to actually attend a free workshop like this, right? It could mean, hey, you know what? I'm going to buy this book, or I'm going to buy this journal, or I'm going to enroll in this program, or I'm going to work with this coach, whatever it looks like for you. Type in a 3 if that makes sense. Type in a 0 if I lost you. Let's see if you guys are with me, okay? If you're like, Kat, I'm not paying for anything, that's okay. Because maybe you're saying that because you can't, and that's okay, right? But I will always pay with money than pay with my time. I paid enough with my time. Enough. Okay. Cash flow is low. We spent a lot on groceries and not really enough on anything we want. Okay. So kind of the same as Jamila there. Okay. Amber says the only money going out are the utilities and rent and vices. Ooh, I know those DoorDash, Postmates, Uber Eats, going out to eat, grabbing a quick Chick-fil-A, grabbing a quick whatever, quick. Next thing you know, you spent $800 eating out. Like, what? And I said I couldn't invest $100 a month. I couldn't invest $500 a month. Yes, I could. Okay. Yes, I really could. All right. Okay, beautiful. So let's move on. All right. I always do this. I have a long conversation with you and then I got to rush at the end. I don't want to do that today. Okay. So welcome to everybody to day 3. Okay. Today we're going to be covering smart investing and savings. Okay. So we're actually going to go a lot deeper. Last session, I talked to you about wanting to talk to you about the power of compound interest. But when I was looking at my PowerPoint stuff, I realized that it was going to be too much for today. Okay. So we're going to talk about setting the foundations for investing. Is that okay with everybody? Type in a 9 if that's okay. Type in a 0 if you're like, no, Kat, I want to learn about compound interest. You will. It's just not going to happen today. Okay. It's okay. I want to read the room. All right. Let me know. I will fit it in there if I get a bunch of 9s. If not, then we will do it actually towards the end. It would actually make more sense on day 5 because we're going to bring it all together. And it's going to be a nice, beautiful picture on day 5 instead of day 3. So today we're just going to talk about setting the foundation, laying the foundation to get you ready for investing. Type in a 7 if that makes sense. Type in a 0. Okay. I got a bunch of 9s. What did I say 9 meant again? I said compound interest. Okay. Actually, no, I'm going to teach compound interest on day 5. Okay. I know I gave you a choice, but you won't understand compound interest if you don't understand the basics. Okay. I was expecting everybody to say 7, but it's okay. I tried to give you a choice, but as the leader of this group, I have to make an executive decision. So we're actually going to go over compound interest on day 5. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. I was like, wait, did I say 7 or something? Oh, whatever. Okay. Moving on. Okay. All right. So what are we going to learn today? So we're going to learn the exact formula for amplifying your savings, right? Before we get into investing, the first step is your savings. And we talked about that before. Number 2, we're going to talk about how to stop the feast and famine, right? How many of you guys are feast famine? I got money and then it goes right out. I got money and it goes right out. I got money and it goes right out, right? We're going to talk about how to stop that. And then number 3, we're going to talk about the mistakes that people usually make when they're trying to start their investing journey, okay? So of course, true to fashion, did I do this twice? Okay, true to fashion, I have a little testimonial for you, okay, all right? So go ahead and take a listen. Give me 1 second here, let's present it. By the way, disclaimer, this is Ronald. Ronald and I worked together about 2 years ago, I think, or 3 years ago. And I asked them, can you please do a testimonial for me to just show everybody like what it was like to work with me, you know, because I can say it, but when you hear it from people, real life people, it's a lot better, right? And then the people that go through the programs, they're able to articulate it much better than I can, okay? And so he wrote the testimonial, and then he was reading it. So when he reads the video, disclaimer, it sounds like it's scripted because he's actually reading it, but he's actually a real person. And guys, look how I'm showing you my PowerPoint. Like, it doesn't get more real than this. I don't have anything polished and like, you know, super perfect. And, you know, like, this is me. Okay. So, you know, this is real. So disclaimer, Ronald sounds a little scripted. That's because he's actually reading a script that he wrote. Okay. So bear with me here. So
I started working with Tatiana a little over a year ago, learning stock options, long-term investment strategies, so money mindset sessions. From the first time we talked, she blessed me with wisdom and guidance. It helped me to grow. Along the way, she held me accountable, kept motivating me and pushing me to give more of myself for myself. She's very passionate about helping her clients grow and helping them to reach the level of success she knows that you're capable of. Since working with Kat in her money mindset sessions, I'm more aware of my emotions towards my financial growth. She's also helped me to make a connection with my past and understand how it affects me in the present when it comes to growing my business, investing in stocks, and creating wealth as a whole. I'm really grateful for all that she's done for me. And I know the knowledge that she has taught me will bless my family for many generations to come. Thank you, Kat.
oh, that was cute. I haven't watched that in a while. Talk to me in the chat. What is the theme? You've heard a couple of testimonials, right? You heard Carmel yesterday. She told you about working with me. You heard from I don't want to say her name because she lives in Haiti and I want to keep her safe. Okay. You heard from the other young lady who lives in Haiti, and you heard from Ronald today. What are some themes that you're noticing from these testimonials? Talk to me in the chat. What is the journey? It's not about working with Kat, right? It's not even about that. Take Kat out of the picture. What is the journey? What is the themes in the journey here? What are some things you have noticed? Talk to me in the chat. I want to hear from you. While you do that, let me go back to my presentation so I can be organized. Okay. What are some things you noticed? What are some themes from what the young lady from Haiti said, what Carmel said yesterday, right? What are some things that you noticed? What are some things that you noticed? Okay, I didn't mean to be sharing all this. Okay, let's see. Anybody in the chat? Talk to me in the chat. Okay. Jamila says, hold on, I think, okay. Jamila says it wasn't about the money, it was about the knowledge. Does everybody agree with that? Okay, that was pretty cool, right? Okay, what else? Let's get somebody else. Let's get one more. Now to give me a break to drink some water. What else? What else have you noticed? Julina said mindset and accountability, right? And so what does that tell you about your journey, whether it's with me or anybody else, or maybe you just do it on your own? It's a very hard road to do it on your own. I spent about almost 8 years trying to do everything on my own. I didn't really take off. Guys, I've been doing this for about almost 10 years. I didn't take off until the past maybe 5 or 6 years, because the very, very first, actually, I've been doing this way longer than 10 years. I've been on this journey longer than 10 years, but the like super like stock market stuff, about 10 years, right? I didn't really start taking off until I started investing in resources, right? And so that's not to shame or guilt you, but this stuff, you have to take it. You have to take it serious, okay? A blessing for him and his family. Ooh, yes. This is not about you. Right? You are the one that was chosen in your family to break those generational curses. I'm going to repeat that. You were the chosen one. That's why you're here. You're the one who's supposed to stop it all. You're the one who's assigned to give the next generation, right, a better future, a better life, a different story. Type in a 9 if you're with me, right? You were chosen. That's why you are here. That's why 155 people did not even make it here, but you are here because you were chosen. So it is much bigger than you. So every time you feel like giving up, think about that. It is much bigger than me, okay? All right, beautiful. The next one, Brittany says the individuals aren't starting with a huge financial portfolio, but they were still able to reach big time achievements. This is motivating. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Okay, beautiful. So everyone here, you already know what is the point of this challenge? The point of this challenge is to introduce you to my style, to the way that I work with my clients. And so I'm inviting you to apply to work with me, right? It's not going to be, there's going to be a point in time where I'm going to stop working with people and I'm just strictly going to be managing a fund. Okay. I'm just going to be doing investments, and it's not to scare you anything. It's just a natural evolution of my journey. Okay. I cannot help millions of people if all I do is one-on-one, right? There's only one of me. And so I must elevate to be able to help the masses. And the only way to do that is through webinars, is through workshops, right? Is through working with big banks and holding workshops. And so it's going to be very hard to get a hold of me one-on-one in the very near future. And so I'm not doing this to scare you, but this is your chance to apply to work with me one-on-one before it's too late. Because then you're going to see one day, you're going to be like, man, I should have applied to work with Kat. Now I can't even work with her at all. Now I have to work with her assistant. Now I have to work with that other person. Now the only way that I'll have access to her is through watching her webinars. I can't even ask her one-on-one questions. So go ahead, click on the link, apply to work with me by the end of this today, okay? All right, let's keep going. Where's my PowerPoint? Okay, hold on. Any questions, by the way? Any questions, comments, or observations before we keep going? Okay, what's going on with Zoom here? Okay, 1 second. Bear with me. There we go. Okay. All righty. Okay, so without a smart saving techniques, you will not get to the financial growth and security that you're looking for. I'm going to repeat that. Without the foundation, without the smart savings technique, if you cannot manage the money that you have right now, how can we expect to manage millions of dollars? Right? If we can not manage the money that we have right now, how can we expect to manage $100,000? If we cannot manage the money that we have right now, how can we expect to manage $25,000? You guys picking up what I'm putting down? Type in a 10 if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay. And so the goal is, yes, you are starting, most of you here are not starting with a 6-figure portfolio or a 6-figure savings. Or if you wouldn't even be in this challenge, you would have just applied to work with me directly without having to go through this challenge, and we would be working together already. Okay. And so I know all of you here are here to build that 6-figure savings. And the only way to do so is with smart savings techniques. There is no way you're going to do that magically thinking about it, okay? And so why do you think I gave you the homework to go window shopping yesterday? Talk to me in the chat. What does that have to do with your savings? Talk to me in the chat. Let's have a conversation. What does you going window shopping for the bills that you want and writing down all your values, all the things that you truly value, and looking at your bank statements to see when did I spend money on that? Why does this matter when it comes to building a 6-figure savings? Let's see if I can call on some people so I don't have to wait for the chat. Amber, would you like to unmute yourself? Oh, you just wrote. Window
I can real quick.
Yes, go ahead.
You told us to do the window shopping because you can see actual prices And once you have prices, you start adding it up and you see that larger number in your head.
Yes, right, exactly.
And then if you're like me, you add an extra 500,000 to that, and that's your number.
Yes, that's right, right? We want to give our subconscious mind something to focus on. Now, we don't want to be too strict with it where it's like, okay, this has to happen, that has to happen, this has to happen. No, right? We don't need to be that strict. We want to give the creator, God, whoever you believe in, right? We want to give the creator the autonomy to do what needs to be done because miracles happen. Things just shift into place. Like the other day, I'll tell you a quick little story. Okay, I went to a conference with JP Morgan. It was a Black Wealth conference, and I met the community manager there for Miami. And she was talking about how she wanted how they were holding financial literacy workshops in Miami in Haitian Creole, and nobody would show up. And so I was like, okay, this is it's my time to shine. Okay, let me pump up, let me put on my makeup, my heels, and let me go pitch myself, right? And so I pitch myself. I say, hey, I have a following on Facebook. I have this, I have that, I have this and that. These are all the things that make me qualified to be able to teach financial literacy workshops with JP Morgan Chase. And crickets. I got an email about 2 weeks ago saying, hey, Kat, we need to meet up so we can work on some events for coming in April, okay? And so all of that to say is, I could have been in my mind, okay, I'm gonna go to this conference, I'm gonna talk to her, and then I'm gonna pitch, and then I'm gonna get it, and then this and that, right? I didn't leave room for the creator to create that miracle because I had already given up on it. I was like, all right, I guess this JP Morgan thing may happen next year, or maybe it's just not right now, whatever the case is. It literally came out of nowhere. But did it come out of nowhere though? Did it come out of nowhere? All right, that was the creator. So we want to set a goal, but we also want to give the creator the creativity, right? The autonomy to create the miracles, the things that will automatically align to be able to get us there. Does that make sense, everyone? Type in a 7 if that made sense, okay? It makes it tangible, right? Exactly. Turns it from a dream to a goal. Brittany says exposure to the numbers won't scare us when we have those funds and create the affirmations to Yes, you ladies are getting it, right? Medea gave us a GPS analogy similar to this on them plays. Okay, yes, okay. I don't watch those things, but yes, if you guys do, great. Great. I'm glad that resonated. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So let's go. I actually turned up my PowerPoint game because I was like, I need to stay organized, okay? So the goal is to set the foundation, right? Give your subconscious mind a set foundation to look for, and then to, like the GPS. Actually, you're right about that GPS, right? This is the destination. Okay. And so thank you for saying that. This is the destination. When you go shopping, this is how much I need for my rent. This is how much I need for my mortgage. This is how much I need for my Range Rover. This is how much I need for my chauffeur, right? You're giving it a destination, okay? And now we're going to take the journey. We're going to go from consumer to saver, from saver to investor, okay? And so now we're going to calculate your financial freedom number, okay? If you haven't done so, I want you to add up all of the expenses that you want, plus all the expenses that you need, okay? All the expenses that you want and all the expenses that you need. And that's going to show you how much money you need coming in every single month for you to have the freedom and the lifestyle that you want. Type in a 9 if that made sense. Type in a 0 if I lost you. Type in a 9 if that made sense. Type in a 0 if I lost you, okay? So go ahead. I'm going to give you about 60 seconds to do so. Go ahead and add them all up. Use your calculator. You don't need to go and do like, fifth grade math or anything. What? No, that's not fifth grade. That's third grade. I don't know. I was in Haiti around there. We were already on multiplication on third grade. So I don't know, right? Whatever math, first grade math. We don't have to do all that. You don't need the plus and no, just use your calculator. How much do you need? And when you're done, type it in the chat. What is the amount that I need? So you're going to add your needs and your wants, okay? The lifestyle that you want and the needs. There's things that you need. You need food. You need shelter. You need a water. The things that you need plus the things that you want. How much is that every month? I'm going to give you about 60 seconds for that. Type that into the chat and let's play some music while you do that. Because you guys said you can hear the music.
Nobody, I'm gonna make you happy. Make you happy. Up in my Maserati. Baby, up in my Maserati. I say up in my Maserati. Up in my Maserati. Girl, I wanna see you go down. Send me out the way you get body. Up in my Maserati. Baby, up in my Maserati. And I just wanna see you ride with somebody. Somebody needs somebody. I need somebody. Somebody needs somebody. Up in my Maserati. Big love in my Maserati. I see up in my Maserati. Up in my Maserati. Girl, I wanna see you go down. Send me out the way you get body. Up in my Maserati. Big love in my Maserati. And I just wanna see you right. Okay. Okay, all right. So I don't see anybody else in the chat. Hannah put $25,000 a month. Okay, so if you didn't get to finish, you can always finish that on your own. At least you got started. Okay, so you already have the momentum going. So as soon as this challenge is done, you're going to be finishing it. So I'm not worried about it. Okay, all right, beautiful. So how does it feel to have this concrete number, Hannah? Are you able to talk, Hannah? Are you able to speak? Now to buy some people some time, maybe if they're not done. Are you able to speak, Hannah?
Yes, but it might be a little noisy.
It's okay. Go ahead. I mean, we're real in here, okay? This is real stuff here. So go ahead. Yes.
You and I have gone through some of these numbers before. We did a chat, so we know what I need to invest every month to get some to the goals that I want. But what I could do with needs and wants at $25,000 a month would be amazing. Like seriously amazing.
Yes. And how will that affect other people in your life?
I think, it depends. For our immediate family, like our nuclear family, I think that it would actually bring us closer because we could take more trips.
Yeah.
And we could do the things that we've set out, the goals that we have set out to accomplish, like we could actually achieve those goals. And for our extended family, I do think that it would benefit them as well, in a lot of ways, just in togetherness or security. For sure. I think that it would do a lot of things.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much for sharing, Hannah. Thank you for being vulnerable to share. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. And I invite everyone to think about how will achieving this affect everyone else around me, right? Your immediate family, your nuclear family, or just your community, right? Think about how me going through my journey was able to affect you. Imagine if I gave up on my journey. Imagine if I was like, oh, I'm not good enough. No one's going to listen to me. And I need to have buildings and I need to have hotels before anybody listens to me. If I was there, imagine, right? You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have the mindset shifts that you were able to experience just being in my vicinity, right? And so think about that impact that you're able to make on others. Because remember what we said, your gifts have nothing to do with you. Your gifts are meant for the world. You are the vessel that is meant to deliver your gifts to the world. Every single one of you. Sakina, Jamila, Brittany, Hannah, Monifa, Doslin, Blondine, Saint-Marie, Martine, Walla, right? I'm trying to name everybody, right? Shali, Dominique, Ashanti, you all have something special in you. Every single one of you. And it looks nothing like the person next to you, right? And so what would it feel like to deliver that special thing to the world? What would that feel like for you? right? Just think about that, okay? Brittany says, thinking about it now, will prepare me to set the appropriate boundaries that are needed at the level of increase as well. Yes, the boundaries, that's right. Hannah says, my ultimate business goal is to buy businesses and employ military spouses to reduce unemployment. Look at that. Look at that. We need you, Hannah. The military spouses need you, right? Those who have the unemployment rates, those who contribute to those unemployment rates, they need you. That is not my ministry. That is not Dosleen's ministry. That is not Martine's ministry. That is yours and yours only. And all those people who are meant to impact, they're going to be grateful for you. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Keep going. Let's keep going. Woo-hoo. I'm going. I want to make sure I finish by 1. Okay. All right. So the best way to teach is through stories. Now, I put this in here because I wanted to share a story with you, but I feel like you all are sharing your story. And I think, and I shared that testimonial. I think that's good. I'm just going to skip this one because we have almost 10 minutes left. Okay. And I want to make sure we get through everything. So what is the difference between savings and investing? What would you say is the difference between savings and investing? Talk to me in the chat. Okay. What is the difference between savings and investing? What is the difference between savings and investing? What would you say? Liquidity. Hannah says liquidity. Okay, beautiful. Okay. Yes, there are some. What does liquidity mean for those of you who are not? Because Hannah is in the finance business. Okay, so she knows what liquidity means. Liquidity means available, readily available. Right. The most liquid money that you have is in the money in your wallet, or the money in your bra, or the money in under your pillow. That's the most liquid because it's the most accessible. Okay. Actually, the one in your bra is actually more accessible than anything else because it's literally on you. Okay. You go to the club or you go to a concert, you just pull it out, right? Okay. But the pillow, you have to be home, right? Or your mattress, right? You got to be home. So that is not as liquid. Okay. I know we're all women in here. I don't have any men in here today. Okay. You get it. Okay. Let's see. Ashanti says investing is to multiply your money. Saving is to get to the stage of being able to invest. Ooh, I like that, Ashanti. That's right, Queen. Brittany says saving is collecting, storing money, where investing is applying it to somewhere and with the intention to grow, right? When saving your money will lose value, will use value. Investing is using your money to bring more money. Okay, yeah, your savings doesn't have to lose value. Okay, Jamila, and if you and I work together, we'll talk about what that looks like, right? Your savings does not have to lose value. Saving doesn't always compound, investing does. Okay, so you guys ready for in the bra? Yes. You guys ready for the answer? Savings is about safety. Investing is about growth. Write this in your notes. Savings is about safety. Investing is about growth. The minute you introduce your money the minute you decide to invest, you are introducing your money to some sort of risk. Type in a yes or no if you understand that, right? What is the point of investing? The point of investing is taking on a risk. I'm going to put my money into this thing. It may not work out, but if it does, I'm going to make a lot of money. That's why we get compensated so well. We get compensated so well because we're willing to take that risk versus stashing it away in my bra, right? Why do I put it in my bra and not like anywhere else? Because I know that thing's going to be secure, right? Safety. Why do I put it under my mattress? That's not safe at all, but you know. Okay, people still do it, right? They think it's going to be safe. Why do I have a safety deposit box? Safety. Everything's about safety, okay? Investing is about growth. I'm actually willing to take on a little bit of risk. We're not going to be reckless now. We're not here to be reckless, but I'm willing to take a little bit of risk so that I can have a faster growth, okay? And so let's talk about savings. Let's give you some practical skills to start saving, okay? Has anybody ever heard of the 50-30-20 rule or anything like it? Like the 70-10-10-10 rule or the 70-30 rule or the 60-40 rule or the whatever rule where there's like 3 numbers that separate it. Anybody ever heard of this? Type in a 1 if you've heard of it, type in a 0 if you haven't. Amber says, when my grandfather died, my mom and auntie found 10K in his room somewhere. Yep, exactly, right? Listen, that's amazing. That's some discipline. I wish I had the discipline to save 10K in my mattress, man. Whew, I don't know if I could do 10K in the mattress. I could probably do a 1K. I love that. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, but he had a bank account too. It was weird. Listen, diversification. He's diversifying his savings. Okay, let grandpa be great. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so you guys have heard of it. So the 50-30 rule says 50% of your income. So let's say you're making $10,000 a month, and I'm using 10,000 because it's easy numbers. 5,000 is going to go towards your living expenses, right? Your necessities, such as your rent, your utilities, right? I forgot the R in rent. I don't know if you guys can even see that. Let me present it so you guys can see it. There you go. That's better, right? Okay, that's better. Okay, so your living expenses, right? So $5,000 would go towards your living expenses and your savings. Type in a 5 in the chat if that made sense. Type in a 0 if I lost you somewhere, okay? All right, so $5,000 would go towards it. The next 30% would be the next $3,000 would be things that you want. Right? Dining out, entertainment, investing in yourself, maybe investing in a program, buying books, right? Taking trips, whatever the case is. So $3,000 would be on things that you want to do, okay? And then the values, remember the values, eating for your health. I have a client of mine, she is battling some health issues, and she has no choice but to buy strictly organic or not homegrown, but she grows her own food as well. Right? She spends a lot of money on her food because her health is important to her. So she spends about $1,000 on groceries. And who am I to come and shame that? I have no right to come and shame that because that is important for her. Because without the health, there is no wealth. I'm going to repeat that. Without your health, there is no wealth. And so your health is your wealth. And so when I see her spending $1,000 on her groceries, it's not about shaming her like, oh my God, why are you spending $1,000 on groceries? No. It's celebrating that you care enough about your body to be mindful about what you put inside your body. And so that would fit into her 30%, okay? So 3,000 would go in towards your values, things that you want. Type in thank you for gathering here. Yes, my pleasure, okay? All right, go ahead and type in a 3 if that made sense, right? So 5,000, if you make $10,000 a month, 5,000 would go towards your basic expenses. 3,000 would go towards the things that you want, okay? And then the 2,000, the 20% that's left will be for your savings, getting out of debt, and investing. Type in a 2 if you guys understand that. Type in a 0 if I lost you. Maybe you're writing notes, okay? So 5,000 for basic expenses, 3,000 for things that you want, your values, things that you value, okay? Things that you value, okay? And then 2,000 for your debt, getting rid of your credit card debts, and as soon as you get rid of the debts, guess what? Now you got even more money to invest. You guys with me? Type in a 2 if you're with me, okay? All right. Well, I'm going to tell you a little story. I failed at this miserably when I first saw this, and there's many other ones. There's a 71 where you live off of 70%, then you take 10 to, there's so many ways to do this. But when I first learned this, I failed at this miserably. Why do you think I failed at this miserably? Talk to me in the chat. What do you think it was? Why is it that I knew better? Because remember, I showed you the pictures. I had my master's in finance, but I was brokety broke, okay? I knew everything. I knew about investing. I knew about savings. I knew about annuities. I knew about bonds. I knew how banks work. I knew everything about everything. And I was brokety broke. So I knew lack of discipline. That's right. Lack of discipline. And so that's why I tell everybody, it's not enough to know what to do. You have to want it. You have to have the discipline. And so when I gave you guys that exercise yesterday, right? It was to show you that discipline is the key, okay? Every dream of financial freedom and wealth needs a smart investing plan. And that investing plan includes, includes discipline, okay? It includes discipline. I'm trying to exit out of this because I want to have a conversation. Okay, yes, it includes discipline. And how do we gain discipline? Punishment? Does punishment work for discipline? What do you guys think? I used to get beat all the time. I would get in more trouble. My mom would pull out the belt and she would count 1, 2, and then she'd be like, oh, that wasn't hard enough, 2. That didn't work. I was a badass little kid. Okay. Punishment doesn't work. Okay. Does motivation work? All right. Okay. Healthy habits. Does motivation work? You go to these conferences like Tony Robbins and you go to these and you're like, yeah, I can do it. I can do this. What happens when you don't feel like doing it? You're not going to do anything. Okay. And so, you know what works with discipline, right? Is the visualization, is the motivation, is the desire. That is the key to discipline. There's a method to my madness. In day 1, what did I do with you? I did a meditation. Day 2, I told you to go shopping, go window shopping. What was I doing? I was amplifying your desires. I was helping you get clear on your desires because your desires are what is going to pull you, not push you, pull you towards the discipline. Type in a 7 if you're with me. Your desires are what's going to pull you. Pull, not push. We're not pushing anybody. When you push somebody, there's a negative connotation to that. You want someone to you want to be magnetized to it, like a magnet, like just, oh, okay. Yes, that's how you have the discipline. Okay. Results speak more to me. That's where I messed up. If I don't see it happening. Okay. So now let's talk about some small little wins. All right. And so we're not expecting to go to the gym and we're going to run 30 miles in day 1. That's ridiculous. We're not expecting to go to the gym and go and bench 200 pounds, right? That's ridiculous. We got to start with the little 5 pound, maybe the little 10 pound, maybe even the little 20, 30 pounds. And then we work our way up to 100, right? And so what I'd like for everyone to do is I'd like for everyone to write it in the chat. What is an amount of money that you can save every week, not every month? We're going to make this a habit, okay? What is an amount of money that you can save every week without even thinking about it, where you're like, oh, I spend that on BS all the time. I spent that. That's like lunch money, or that's like, that's beer money. Okay. I had a big beer budget at one point. I used to love beer. I didn't realize that it was a subconscious connection to my father because my father loves beer. And so I would try to connect with my dad with beer. I didn't even realize that was happening. So I got rid of that beer budget. But anyways, that was a vice. That was not a value. That was a vice. Okay. So I got rid of it. But what is that amount for you? Talk to me in the chat. And we might go a little bit over today. We're pretty much done. But if you have to go at 1, do your thing. I'm not going to take any offense to that. Okay. Because I want to respect your time. What is that amount for you? For me, when I first started, it was $20. $20, where I knew, okay, I don't even need to think twice about $20. Okay. And so Jamila says 30. Okay. Who else? All right. And I'd like for you to open up your Dominique says 200. There you go, Queen. Right. Okay. Not gonna lie. All right. Well, it is what it is. You got to get yourself out of that, Hannah. Okay. Right. No one else is going to help you get out of that. You have to help yourself get out of that. And that's not for me that's not me calling you out. Right. But that is for you. Nobody's going to be able to help you but yourself. Okay. So it's time to buckle up and get that, even if it's $10 that you can do. Somebody said 40. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. So I'd like for you to automate this. This is going to be your homework. Okay. Your homework is going to be to automate the savings. Make it something really, really small. Guys, it's not about the $10. It's not about the 20. It's not about the 200. It's not about any of that stuff. It's not about any of it. It's about the discipline. It's about those small little wins. It's about being able to pay yourself and say, I am doing this for me. I am doing this for my future self. Type in a 1 in the chat if you're with me. Okay. Somebody, well, there you go. $10. Hannah, it's not about the 10. It's not about the, you could have just said 5. You could have said $1. I don't care what it is. It's about the discipline, those reps in, put in that money. For some people, 200, 500. Right? I'm at the point where for me, that's easy money for me is now $1,000. But how did I get there? Remember, I told you I started with 20. Okay. And so I want you to think about what is that amount of money for you. Okay. So everybody, don't forget to apply to work with me. Okay. You're going to click on that link. So we're pretty much done. All right. So that was my last slide, was to apply to work with me. I know it's 1 o'clock. Most of you are still on here. Okay. So those of you who apply to work with me today and today only, okay, Now, I'm not offering this tomorrow. Those of you who apply to work with me today, all right, you will get into my upcoming challenge. I have a 21-day abundance challenge, right, to help you propel yourself forward. You will get into that for totally free, okay? 21 days of abundance challenge. No, I won't be talking for 21 days. You're going to get a prompt, a meditation prompt every single day for the next 21 days, okay? So that's only for those of you who apply to work with me today. That's not going to happen tomorrow, because tomorrow is day 4 and 5. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about investing, okay? And then we're going to talk about my main program. So if you're interested in applying to work with me, then you can really apply and say, oh, this is what I want. This is the big Maserati that I want, okay? So we're going to talk about that big boy program tomorrow and the last day. But today only those of you who apply to work with me. If you have already had your session with me, unfortunately, it won't count, okay? So those of you who already had your sessions, that's not gonna count, all right? Okay, but those of you who are new to me, all right, I'm giving you this as a gift, okay? All right, any questions? I know it's 1:02, you guys are still on, thank you, okay? If you have to go, you can go, but any questions, comments, or observations? Any questions? Monifa, is that a question? Are you raising your hand? Did you have a question? Did you have a question? No? Okay. All right. So I'm going to play some music, give you some time to click on that link. Here's the link again. Okay. Go ahead and apply to work with me. Okay. And you will get access to the free 21-day challenge. All right, everybody. Have a great day. I'm going to play some music and see you tomorrow. We're going to get into investing. All right. Oh, the music is done. What's next? There we go. All right, everyone. See you tomorrow. She said, bye, everyone. Bye.